Today, I'm going to show you how to create a $15,000 a month online education business in 15 minutes using AI. And I'm going to use one of the most universal topics, one of the niches that's considered sometimes oversaturated, productivity. I'm going to show you how to think and refine and set yourself apart through differentiation and important marketing strategies, because speed alone won't help you be successful in the online education space. Strategy will, and that is what makes this different. And in case we haven't met before, my name is Sarah Turner, and I have over 12 years of experience in digital marketing, and I have personally generated over $25 million in revenue in online course sales. Not to mention, I've helped over 6,000 clients and students create their own online businesses. In fact, I am only here because I know what I teach works. And helping people create more freedom in their life while helping others is my mission. There's a lot of noise in the online space today, and it's really important that you consider where you're learning your information from. And make no mistake, AI will never replace the expertise or the personalized experience of working with a mentor. Okay, so let's check out this awesome tool. So in today's video, I want to show you how you can really quick put together everything that you need to get off the ground to have a $15,000 a month digital product with my proprietary AI tool designed specifically for course creators. Now, to access this tool, you would need to join my membership program, Coursea Collective. And the thing that I want to tell you about this before we dive in is that when you join Coursea Collective, you actually also gain access to weekly live calls with me, because AI is truly never going to replace the expertise of a mentor. And I love doing these calls. In fact, this is why I've structured Coursea Collective the way I have, so I can roll up my sleeves and dig into your business with you. So whether you're just starting out or you have something that you need to troubleshoot or refine so that you can scale properly, I've included details in the link below. Okay, enough of that, let's dig in. So this is the homepage you'll see when you first log in. And I want to point out to you the really important elements that make this different from any other AI tool. And the first of that being the persistent student profile. This is where you're going to actually work to fill out everything about you, your preferences, your ICA, your business, your transformation, such that the program already knows who you are as you're moving through creating marketing elements and creating, course materials. Everything about you informs this tool. And as you can see, it's very thorough. So we start with your student identity and your business clarity, and everything has a paired lesson for explanation and context. And then you fill this out. So you'll walk away with a really clear ideal customer avatar, including demographics, key traits, pain points, desires, emotional triggers, motivations, pricing sensitivity, buying behaviors, where they hang out, pricing strategy, revenue targets, money mindset, objections, your offer structure, delivery methods, offer transformation statement, lead magnet details, and course outline. And of course, your content marketing strategy. Now, having these stories in your profile has turned out to be almost everyone's favorite part of this program. And the reason for that is because this will get incorporated to any marketing materials in the future. So having your founder story or your how I got here story, when you're going to sit down and create Facebook ads, for example, or an email sequence, this tool is going to pull from your stories and integrate it. So it is really a reflection of you, your ICA, and your business. Over here, we have the lesson assistant, and this will take you through step by step the entire process of building and scaling an online education business. So to start out, I wanted to pick a really common topic, something that needs a little bit of differentiation in order to be successful. So I picked productivity and focus, right? How can we get more out of our time that we spend doing things? It's important to know that speed alone won't make you money. And that's the problem that I have with a lot of the people using AI tools today. It's great to use AI. It's a great ideation tool. But the problem with most of the things on the market today is that they are not informed by an actual expert. This tool is informed by over a decade's worth of experience and all the battle-tested strategies I've used, not only for my own business and generating $25 million in sales, but also in my clients and my students' business and helping them succeed and thrive. And as you probably know, the input is only as good as the output when it comes to AI. So what this means for you is that the output is going to be good. And if you're in Coursea Collective, you also have the opportunity to bring any deliverable this tool gives you to a live call to get actual expert feedback on it. So we're going to use one of the most universal high demand topics: focus, time management, and productivity. and we're going to reimagine it for today's world in the digital age. So first, let's carve out a fresh angle and a saturated niche, productivity. And in order to do that, I'm going to come over to my student profile and I'm going to see, all right, unique differentiation. This is going to tell me exactly where I need to go in order to refine this part of my business. And another great thing I love to tell people to do is to use the dictation shortcut on their keyboard. It's going to be dependent on whatever computer you have, so I can't really tell you what that is. I'm a Mac user, that's Control twice. And this allows you to talk to the tool and you'll see that grammar and spelling doesn't matter. It generally knows what you're trying to say. And you'll see it prompts me. Please share a specific area you'd like to focus on in differentiation strategy. For example, are you interested in defining your unique edge, identifying your ideal audience, or something else? So it's super important to have differentiation, especially if you're going to choose a topic like productivity, which is a very common online course product. And I want to reiterate, it's really okay to go into what might be considered a quote unquote saturated niche. You just have to make sure that you have clearly defined what sets you apart. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to the tool. I'm creating a productivity course for somebody who is a few years behind me. I was a remote worker. I started out creating a freelance business as a side hustle, and I was always dealing with constant distractions, dopamine fatigue, and not really having good structure in my day-to-day life. I wanted to make sure that I was getting more done in less time, and I wanted to also avoid burnout. This is really important to me because as a freelancer, my time is super, super valuable. And if I can get things done in fewer hours, then there's more earnings passed on to me and I'm able to just live my life. Another thing I'd say is I probably work well with or differentiate by having ADHD. I also am a solopreneur, and I might be a good fit for anybody who also does remote work. So could you give me some positioning ideas as well as an ideal customer avatar that sounds like it would fit this? And here's the thing, you wouldn't even need to say all of that because it would actually know that that's what we're doing. And look at how amazing this is. So, positioning ideas, we could do an empathy-driven approach. Position your course as the one that understands unique challenges faced by remote workers, solopreneurs, especially those with ADHD. Highlight your personal journey and how you overcame distractions and burnout. Another positioning idea might be practical strategies. Emphasize actionable strategies that could be implemented immediately. Focus on tools and techniques to help manage time effectively, reduce distractions, and create a structured daily routine. Then it goes on to identify a few more like flexibility and adaptability, community support, really emphasizing community, or results oriented, highlighting the potential for increased productivity and earnings. And that can really help them. So then it comes up with an ideal customer avatar, an age, genders, either location, urban areas with a strong remote work culture. So glad it's getting really clear on this. College educated, possibly with a degree in a creative or technical field. Professional background, freelancers, solopreneurs, remote workers. Experience in fields like digital marketing, design, writing, or tech, struggling with time management and productivity. Psychographics, values flexibility and autonomy in their work, feels overwhelmed by distractions and the pressure to perform, has a desire to improve their productivity without sacrificing personal time, may have ADHD or similar challenges that affect focus and organization. And then it has goals to create a structured routine, to reduce feelings of burnout, increase earnings, and find a supportive community. Pain points include difficulty managing time, overwhelm from constant distractions, fear of burnout, lack of accountability, and support. This is fantastic. I definitely want to focus on remote workers and people who struggle with ADHD, because that's who I am. And as you can see, it takes it one step further. So now we've got some amazing positioning ideas, positioning your course, practical strategies. So things that they will actually, see wins with when they're doing, showing how it can be flexible and adaptable, especially important in like a neurodivergent world, community support, results oriented. And as you can see, it went one step deeper for us. So ADHD friendly techniques, mindfulness and self-care, real life examples, interactive learning, and a resource library. So it's already starting to give me ideas on how I can create and position myself. And now it's starting to give me some tailored messaging. Tagline: unlock your productivity, tailored strategies for remote workers with ADHD. And a course description might be: join me on the journey to reclaim your time and boost your productivity. This course is designed specifically for remote workers and solopreneurs with ADHD. Together, we'll explore practical techniques to manage distractions and create structure and achieve your goals without burning out. So now it's giving me next steps and creating marketing materials and gathering feedback, which is going to be built into this entire process. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this into the correct part of my student avatar. And then I'm going to come back here and grab my ideal customer avatar as well, because I really liked that too. And put them there. Okay. And as you can see, we can go much, much deeper into any of these. And of course, it autosaves. Again, we're doing this from a bird's eye view to make sure that we have a really solid idea. So the next thing I want us to do is to go ahead and start outlining a particular offer. I'm going to go into how to price your irresistible offer. And as you can see, it already knows who I am and what I do. And we've only given it such a small piece of information in our actual profile. So it looks like you're interested in developing a course focused on productivity strategies for remote workers with ADHD. To kick things off, could you tell me more about your current pricing strategy? Are you offering a one-time payment subscription model or perhaps a tiered approach? So I think I'd like to have a value ladder because I'm not sure about all of this just yet. I don't have any current offers in place, but I do have the goal of wanting to make $15,000 a month. Could you recommend a value ladder for me? Okay, and here we go. It's giving me an incredible value ladder right out the gate. So first, it's working with a free lead magnet, offer a free resource such as downloadable checklists like 5 ADHD-friendly productivity tips, build your email list and upfront value. This is just to get the creative juices flowing. Later on in the marketing module, you would actually go way deeper into figuring out what this free lead magnet might be. But let's talk about the entry-level offer, a low cost or course, maybe $49 that covers basic ADHD-friendly productivity techniques, attracts new customers, and provides them with actionable insights. Then maybe a more comprehensive course with live Q&A sessions, community support, additional resources, maybe at $199, providing deeper value and support for those ready to invest more. Then there could be a premium offer of, $1,000 or more, which might include personalized coaching, accountability, and advanced strategies. So there's also, you could do ongoing support. And this is one of the things that I made sure was included in this particular strategy and tool is recurring revenue. So it is so much easier to convert somebody who's already bought something of yours, who already is bought in, who loves what you've created, than it is to create a customer out of somebody who doesn't know who you are. Having some subscription model on the back end for continued access to resources, community, or monthly workshops is a powerful way to make sure your business doesn't completely rely on new leads. So then it gives me an actual revenue broken down. And as you can see, it understands that you're going to maybe want 500 signups for your free lead magnet, moving into maybe about 100 sales, and then 50 sales at your mid-tier offer, and then 5 sales at your premium offer, and then ongoing support at the subscription rate. And adding this all up to be $22,000, over $22,000. So as you can see really quickly, I have a plan, a very effective plan for a sustainable business that is going to be something I can start to work on and implement. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this into my profile. So I'll put this under pricing strategy. Okay, so the next thing we need to figure out, because we've got a pretty good idea, but we need to figure out where we're going to go find these people. So I'm going to hop over to Growing Your Tribe, Strategies for Audience Building. Now, this is an important differentiation between my program and other programs. Most online course creators, most marketers have one system or one way that they are used to using, and that becomes kind of the holy grail, the one thing that they recommend that you do. The problem with that is there are many different ways to be successful in this particular business model. And after working with thousands of students, I know it is very important for you to find something that you can do consistently and that makes sense for your business and your ICA. So I want to come over to the organic first paid, picking your top strategy, and try to figure out what will be the way I'm going to get in front of these new people so that I can start to sell the first iteration of my program. And as you see, Josie prompts me to ask me questions to get me thinking so that I can identify my top strategy. Are you aiming for a specific number of leads each month, or are you more focused on increasing brand visibility? Let's define your short-term and long-term goals. Because I am really passionate about what I am creating, I do want this to have a long-term strategy. However, I need this to replace my income, and my goal is to make $15,000 a month. And so I do need this to work pretty quickly. Now it's asking me if I would be open to organic methods or paid methods, or maybe a hybrid approach. I'm going to pretend like I don't have a lot of experience with either and just see where it takes me. I'm honestly open to both. I have a little bit of an ads budget to work with, with, but not much. And here we go. So it's really excited that I want to do hybrid, in part because I think hybrid is best. But it will help you if you say you don't have any ad dollars to spend, or you only want to do ads because you don't want to have like an Instagram, whatever. It will help you figure out what's best for you. So it's going to start out by helping me map out my organic strategy. And again, I'd like to point out that it's saying, which channels do you enjoy using most, like blogging, social media, or hosting events? This will help us plan your strategy. I can't emphasize this enough. If you choose a strategy that you're not able to do consistently because you absolutely hate it, or it's just very uncomfortable for you or not natural, then you won't continue with this process. That's why this is such an important piece of this puzzle. I would say I enjoy blogging and Instagram, although I don't know if I'd want to create Instagram content. I don't like being on there a ton. And I would love to host events. I do like in-person events. I have experience as an event planner. Yeah. And here we go. It starts to make me a really wonderful plan. So we can start out by blogging, creating valuable content that will get in front of just the right people who are searching for what we need. This is a great way to also get lead magnets out there. Then we talk about in-person events, hosting workshops or meetups where we focus on productivity strategies. We can promote these events through my blog and social media and my email list. We can also get people to sign up for my email list this way. And then it does talk to me about how I feel about Instagram. While you may not want to create a lot of content, you can still use it to share snippets of your blog, even highlights and testimonials. Now that feels much more doable for me because it's not getting on there and having to do a little like trendy dance. Now it's going to help me with my paid strategy. Since you have a small budget for ads, would you be interested in running targeted ads on platforms like Facebook or Instagram? Yes, I would be interested in running ads. And here we go. It's got a very brief outline of running ads. And actually, we have an entire module on running Facebook and Instagram ads here. So here it goes into the targeted ads for your lead magnet, event promotion, running ads for events, budgeting, and tracking and optimization. So this is just meant to give me an overview of my entire audience building strategy. Okay, this is great. So I'm going to take both my organic, I'm going to come over here and drop it into my preferred content channels. I'm also going to include my paid strategy. Okay, it has not been that long and I have gotten so much done. I want to wrap up with a funnel. And I want you to remember that you can always tell Josie that you don't know or you'd like her help on it and put the ball back in her court because she's always going to prompt and ask you for information from you first in case you have a business already running or an idea or something like that. I'm actually unsure. Could you please help me map out a funnel? And here we go. We've got an awesome funnel. First, we've got the lead magnet, which is going to take us then to the nurture sequence, which, it gives us ideas of what to do. Although you can see down here that we go into a deeper dive into each section of the funnel. Then it talks about the different offers and what level we'll be offering first. Then it talks about different action steps and how we'll move the person along the customer journey. It also includes what to do after people purchase, making sure you don't forget that very important step, and includes how you can start tracking metrics for optimization. And then, of course, it includes community building because that's going to be part of our offer. So this is super exciting because now we have something that we can build off and take it one step deeper. Now, real quick, I'm actually going to jump back to curriculum building because I want you to see how you can have almost everything you need taken care of in order to make some significant progress on this journey. So I'm going to pop over into mapping my learning journey and see Josie checks in with me. Yes, can you help me outline my mid-tier program? Now, this is interesting. So again, Josie's always going to start by asking you to give her as much information as possible. When it comes to the curriculum, she is assuming that you are the expert, right? You are going to be teaching on this. So you're going to have some sort of starting point. However, I want to see what she comes up with when we kind of prompt her to go back to the profile that we have and to just see what she comes up with on her own. Looking at my profile, I would actually love it if you could give me an idea of what you think I should include. And look at how freaking good this is. This is why I'm obsessed with this tool, guys. Like, instead of looking at a blank Google Doc or working with ChatGPT, which literally has no idea who you are and is super generic in the advice it gives, this is going to create something for you that is really, truly tailored to what you want to teach, how you're going to teach it, your differentiation, and it's going to slash the time it takes you to do all of these things in half or more, really. So we've got our mid-tier program outline: unlock your productivity, tailored strategies for remote workers with ADHD, course tagline, and then the course description. And then we've got this module structure. So module 1, understanding ADHD and productivity, using the science to understand how it impacts work, common challenges, setting realistic expectations. Module 2, ADHD friendly techniques, time blocking, visual aids, and gamification, creating a personalized productivity toolkit. Then we've got mindfulness and self-care, techniques for managing energy levels, incorporating breaks and exercise into your routine, mental health practices to avoid burnout, real-life applications, case studies, adapting strategies, sharing successes and challenges, interactive learning and community building, live Q&As, workshops, accountability groups. Then it goes into reminding you things to have in your program: engaging learning activities, group discussions, interactive workshops. All of these would be very important for anyone with ADHD. Resource library with templates, checklists, access to recorded sessions, reflection and self-assessment, journaling prompts, self-assessment quizzes, course deliveries, a combination of pre-recorded and live sessions. Again, this is up to you. Access to a private community. And then this is, their mid-tier option. So I just want you to stop for a moment and think about how long this would have taken you to come up with completely on your own. A really long time. I created my first program before AI, and creating a 10-lesson course and all the marketing materials and funnel to go with it took me 6 months. So the work that we've seen done here today would have taken me weeks, truly. But you have access to a tool that can slash the amount of time it takes you to knock these things out in a half or more. I would really say a lot more. Most of my students are saying that this is saving them up to 80% of the time it would normally take them to do something. And as you can see, there is so much more to go through. We have probably only done 5% of what is included in here, which is why I'm so freaking excited about this tool. It's taken me a long time to put it together. If this looks like something that would be helpful for you in your business, I'd love to encourage you to check out my program, Coursea Collective. I can say confidently that my program is the best program on the market for online course creators like you. Anyone who's been in my orbit for a long time knows that I don't exaggerate. This has been over 12 years in the making, and it's designed specifically to save you time, because I know you don't have time to take another online course. Instead, you need personalized and actionable strategy to help you get to that next level. Go ahead and check it out for yourself. You can find details in the description below.